What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Winter Wonderland. Not really, but we are in northern Illinois right now, more specifically Rockford, Illinois, and I'm going to take you guys to see some holiday favorites. Now, here is the Grinch and some other things, but what I'm going to do today is I'm going to take you by some interesting places that have some really good Christmas lights, and we're going to go through something called the Festival of Lights, which when I was a kid, that was the coolest thing to go through, and there's a lot of childhood memories for me there, so I'm going to take you with me. So let's go. Now we got our first snowfall of the year today, but we're going through a neighborhood right now that really does it up for Christmas. Take a good look at this. It is really cool that people do this. But if you think that's good, let me show you their neighbor. Now this house right here is sure to put you in the Christmas spirit. For a lot of years, they've really outdone themselves. There's usually a line of cars out here. But it's really nice when they do this kind of stuff. It's very festive, spices up the neighborhoods. And they're kind of in a cul-de-sac here, so you can drive by and get a better look. But holiday traditions are important. Let you guys see that there. And they have a little nativity scene there. But very cool. And now we're heading to Festival of Lights. And right across the street from Festival of Lights is a place called Nicholas Conservatory. And during Christmas, they also have a pretty impressive display of lights. And here we are, the world famous, or at least locally famous, Festival of Lights. Now we're just doing this from the car here, so hopefully you guys will get the same experience I get. They do ask you to turn off your car lights so that everyone can enjoy the experience, which the guy behind me did not do. But you can't have high expectations for people these days. But basically what this is, if you've never heard of this before, is a lot of local businesses each sponsor a light display. This right here. Welcome Christmas in Rockford. Now, if you guys don't know, Rockford is my old hometown. This is where I grew up, so these are kind of roots from when I was a kid. So it's kind of fun to revisit this type of stuff. I know this is very different from the usual video that I would post, but I try to mix things up a little bit so you guys never know what's coming on this channel. There's something from Meyer, which is a pretty good grocery store. As you can see, the snow is still falling just a little bit. Hopefully you guys enjoy a little bit of Christmas lights to get you in the holiday spirit. Christmas is definitely one of my favorite holidays. Between Christmas and Halloween, there's always nice displays and holiday lights and all that kind of stuff, and I really do appreciate that. And there's mailbox for letters to Santa. Had a little traffic jam here for a second, so got to give you a little bit longer of a view of that. Looks like pretty much everybody in front of me turned off their lights. And if you guys can see behind me, you don't want to see that. Pretty much everybody behind me left their car lights on. There's a dragon right there. That's pretty cool. It's always interesting to see which companies put up what displays. And they usually do have Christmas music that you can tune on the radio. But if I put that on, then I get a copyright strike and the video will probably be removed because YouTube's not really fun that way. Oh, this is a good one. Hopefully this comes out decent on the camera. This is from Ingersoll Cutting Tools, which has always been one of the big shops here in town. That's a nice display. And a towing company. And they're towing Santa's sleigh. That's not very nice. Or maybe it is, depending on the situation. But if Santa defaulted on the payments, that's the same kind of thing. His sleigh is no better off than any of our cars. Friends of the Mayor. Now, the mayor here I know is not very well liked, because Rockford has become a very crime-ridden city, and it's also been voted as one of the most dangerous cities in the country now, running several years in a row. But he did sponsor a light display, so he can't be a terrible guy, I guess. Here's some other displays. You matter. We all really do. Sometimes we need reminders of that during the holiday season. Things can get pretty lonely. But the light displays help keep everything a little bit upbeat. The green lights on the trees are kind of a nice touch. Looks a little Grinchy, but I like it. The roads are lined with candy canes. I really love when cities do this, though. This is free. They do take donations. But it's just a really nice thing to get you in the holiday spirit. There's North Park Tax Service. And this is pretty neat. The Greg Lindmark Foundation. Now that is a... for those of you guys that don't know, me and my wife are part of a volunteer fire department, and the Greg Lindmark Foundation is named after a guy who worked on a department who passed away, and they do a lot of help with counseling and things like that for first responders. It's a very, very good foundation. One-of-a-kind home improvements and supplies. Hopefully the camera does this justice. This is kind of pretty here, but I'm not sure how this shows on camera. Hopefully decent. Happy Holidays from Savant. And they wrapped all these trees and lights too. I'd sing you guys some Christmas carols, but nobody wants to hear that. And everybody's being patient here. You know, you gotta let people go through at their own pace as we enter the North Pole. Here we are. I bet you guys never thought that I'd take you to the North Pole this year. I really didn't think so either. But things can change in an instant. I pride myself on never planning too far ahead on this channel. So you just never know what you're going to get. There's a lit up rocking chair. That's also pretty nice. And we had a little traffic jam, so I turned off the camera for a second. But we're back going now, so here we go. We have Santa Claus up here. If you guys can see him right there. Now this actually is, this is dual purpose. Yes, he's there to wave at people, but he's also here to make sure that people don't steal from the donation box, because they have had issues with that before. And if you can, it's always good to throw a couple bucks in there. Make sure this stays. The health department even has a lit up display there. Make sure that everybody stays healthy. State Line Cremations. That's right up the alley of this channel. But at the same time, I also like to be sure that not everything that we have on this channel is dark and grim. And I know we post a lot of videos related to Hollywood and dark parts of history and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes it's nice to have things that are just light, and that's why I tried to start doing some of the museums and roadside attractions. Hopefully you guys enjoy some of that stuff. If you don't, I apologize, but if you do, it's kind of fun to try to let the channel grow a little bit and bring new people in. Happy holidays from Illinois Bank and Trust. Werner Roofing. Now they would get my business just for this one. That is the major award, the leg lamp from A Christmas Story. That is fantastic. We have the Rockford Airport has a sign right here. And I think this is about wrapping up. If I remember right, once you go by through the next couple of turns, it pretty much dwindles out. But if you guys notice, there are a lot of displays. Usually takes you maybe 10-15 minutes to go through here, but it is worth it if you're in the area. But I wanted to give you guys a little something different tonight. I was in the area and I just thought, okay, I'm going to go through this and just kind of for old time's sake. And I thought, why not take the camera and bring you guys with? I know a lot of times whenever I shy away from the usual things I do on this channel, nobody really watches it. Maybe 100 or 200 views, something like that. But those are the people that I'm really doing all this for. It's the people that enjoy what I put out and not just picking and choosing each video. But hopefully you guys are, this brings you a little bit of holiday joy and a little bit of, if you happen to be a little on the lonely side this holiday season, hopefully it helps you out a little bit. And just always knowing that you guys are never alone on the holiday season. If nothing else, you have your strangers on YouTube. But we're all doing this stuff together. So this is the end of the Festival of Lights. The exit's right up here. So we're going to turn on the lights and get back on the road. But thank you guys for joining today. Hopefully you have a safe and happy holiday season. And keep an eye out for future videos because there is some really, really cool stuff coming up. So catch you guys later.